Okay, so welcome to today's WIBN training, which is today with the amazing Grace Fogarty and Lou Murphy. Grace is in our National Keller WIBN group, and Lou is in the St Albans group. So it's a great collaboration of two people from different areas. The session today is about getting comfy in the spotlight. And there I'm going to end my talk and I'm going to pass straight over to Grace and Lou. So thank you, ladies, for joining us today, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Louise. Hi, everyone. It's so lovely to be here with you. Thank you for joining us. Me and Lou are really looking forward to running this workshop for you and combining our expertise to really help you get comfy in the spotlight. So first of all, I wanted to tell you a little bit about what does that actually mean and why does getting comfy in the spotlight really matter as a business owner? Well, when me and Lou were talking about this workshop, we really wanted to think about how can you feel really confident in yourself. We're not going to be talking about how to do something that makes you feel out of your comfort zone. This is really about how to be your true, authentic self when you put yourself out there, whether that's in your pitch or a presentation, anything you're doing where you're really having to promote your business publicly. We're going to share our advice on how you can feel really confident in yourself. A huge benefit of getting comfy and really enjoying being in the spotlight is that you can promote your business with ease. And with that, it means you can become more memorable and you can look for the work that you like, which really helps so that you can attract the clients you love. Because when you are totally yourself, when you feel really comfortable in your own skin, you're confident when you're talking about what you do, you've got a really slick pitch. That is when the people that you love to work with will naturally come towards you and you'll be able to attract those clients through every pitching opportunity that you have. So that's really what we're going to be focusing on in this masterclass for you this morning. So to get the most from the masterclass, it's lovely to see your faces. So please do keep your camera on if you can during, so that we can see your lovely faces smiling back at us. Keep yourselves on mute, but we are going to be asking some questions throughout. So please do share in the chat, and we'll also have time to chat at the end as well with a Q&A.
Okay, so Grace has just told you what we're doing, just a little bit how it's going to work today. We're going to do a little introduction about ourselves so that you know who we are and what our expertise is. Grace is then going to give you loads of tips and advice on how you can prepare and deliver a knockout pitch. And then I'm going to cover a piece on looking the part and pitching with power, which will be some practical tips about how you can style yourself. We're going to share lots of practical information that you can actually put into practice for your next networking meeting. And if you're inspired to learn more, we have two great offers for you at the end and an opportunity to ask questions.
Lovely. So I'll start by talking a little bit about myself. Why am I here? Why am I talking to you about delivering a knockout pitch? Well, my business is Present with Grace, and I am on a mission to empower as many small business owners as I can to use their 60-second networking pitch to attract the clients that they love to work with. I have used my own pitch in my networking experience to find clients and to get leads in every meeting. I help my clients do exactly the same, and that is what I'm really, really passionate about, because I want people just like you to make the most out of every networking opportunity you have. My background is in training, so I spent 12 years designing and delivering communication and presentation skills workshops for corporates. I work with people like Uber, M&S, Johnson & Johnson, Bank of England, BNP Paribas, really, really big companies, but it was all about really teaching people how to become more confident in the way they communicate in a professional environment. And then I left the corporate world 2 years ago and set up my business. Outside of the work that I do, I'm also a scriptwriter. I do comedy and I'm an actor. At the moment, I am writing and performing in a one-woman comedy that I've written about people pleasing. I'm performing it in July. But I really love to share the lessons that I've learned through my experience on the stage with the people that I work with, because I really, really believe you do not need to go to drama school to learn how to own the room and how to tell a really brilliant story to get people's attention. So I bring a lot of those lessons from the stage into the work that I do with people as well. So that's a little bit about me. Over to you, Lou.
Hi, so I'm Lou Murphy. I run a business under my name, Lou Murphy Styles, the Pre-Loved Boutique, which is a dress agency based in Harpenden at a private boutique in my garden, where I have a wide range of ladies' fashions, pre-loved, secondhand, sometimes plenty with new with tags in sizes 8 to 18 for ladies, anything from high-end, high street, from to all the way through to designer. So I kind of say I do from Zara to Gucci. I've been styling ladies since 2016. I have a wide range of clients, largely in their 40s, right through to their 80s, to be fair. And I don't just style women in business, but I do style anybody who's looking for, fashion advice, style advice, and want to shop more sustainably, whether that's for the day-to-day or in today's scenario being in the spotlight. And as Louise said earlier, I'm a member of the St Albans group.
Nice. I absolutely love wearing and buying secondhand. I love what you do, Lou. My dress right now is secondhand. I'm big charity shop queen. So yeah, the more pre-loved, the better in my eyes. Okay, so we wanted to start off by asking you a question to really just get a sense of how you feel at the moment when you have to deliver your 60-second pitch. So I'd love for you to do is choose one word, pop it in the chat to describe how you feel about pitching right now. Cringe, Nicola.
Cringe.
Yeah. Self-conscious, Carmen. Good. Yes, Karen. Love to hear it. Nervous. Am I selling? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Excited.
Excites or excited? Excited. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Good
nice.
Words.
Yeah, really good words. And it's interesting, isn't it? That's quite a range of emotions. We've got people who feel good and excited through to nervous, cringe. Am I meant to be selling? A bit of uncertainty. And this is the thing when it comes to pitching, is that it can feel a little bit overwhelming. It is hard to know what's the right thing. How should you use those 60 seconds? What are you meant to be doing? And also, putting yourself out there and talking about what you do is a really it's a really brave thing to do. So the way that you're feeling at the moment, if you feel nervous or cringe or uncomfortable, it's really normal. The people I work with often feel like that, but I want to reassure you that you can feel good, you can feel excited. It is just about learning how to make the most of that time and how to really feel confident in yourself. Cool.
Okay, so if that's how you currently feel, what we'd love to know is how you would love to feel when you stand up, or whether you sit down, stand up, whatever you choose to do. But when that spotlight is shining on you, how would you love to feel? Pop it in the chat. Great. So yeah, relax, more at ease, confident and calm. Yeah, brilliant. And totally confident. I think the confidence thing, yeah. This is my moment, Phil. Brilliant. Yeah. The confidence thing is really important. And we're going to touch on that quite a lot throughout both of our hints and tips, and feeling more at ease and relaxed, because they're all interlinked. And absolutely, Carmen, it is your moment. It's a moment to shine. It's your moment to sell yourself and sell your business. So therefore, that's exactly how you need to feel when you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you feel relaxed and calm, everyone around you is going to feel relaxed and calm too. And that's what we want. We want your audience to really feel good when they listen to you, as well as you feel amazing in the spotlight. Amazing. So what stops you from feeling that way? So if you would love to feel confident, calm, relaxed, at ease, what is it that stands in your way? Write down the one thing that you really think stands in your way in the chat. Overthinking. Yeah. Nervous. Sarah Jane, yeah. Nerves, absolutely. Anything else that stops in the way? Feeling, yeah, absolutely. Nicola, that's a really good one, actually. Not wanting to feel like you're kind of, overdoing it, basically bragging too much. Yeah, that can feel uncomfortable in itself. And feeling nervous, and actually those nerves standing in our way, again, is something that people often experience. Nerves can be a bit of imposter syndrome. Absolutely. Yeah, gosh, and that's so connected to our confidence, isn't it? When we worry, am I really doing this? Is this really my opportunity? Am I good enough to be talking about this? These are so common, really common feelings, and it's so important to recognize that. The first thing to do when you really want to step into the spotlight and get that lovely, calm, relaxed feeling, the first thing to do is to really identify what is it that's holding you back, because when you know that, that's when you can start to work through it. Because you can learn how to overcome your nerves, how to build your confidence, and when you do, it just becomes so much easier. So thank you so much for sharing where you're at the moment. It's really good just to get a sense of what's going on for you. And as Lou said, we're going to share our insights and some questions and some tips for you so that you can really start working on these things to get to that relaxed, calm feeling that you want to have and you deserve to have in your pitch. So I'm going to start us off by talking about my 3 biggest pieces of advice on how to prepare a knockout pitch. So when I say a knockout pitch, what I mean is that is a pitch that you do absolutely deliver with total grace and certainty. You feel calm, you feel relaxed, you feel confident, you feel like you have every right to be in that spotlight and talk about what you do. It's also concise, so it fits within the 60-second time limit, as Louise will know, very important, but also it's memorable. It has something in it that will really help someone remember you, and that might be later that day, it might be in a week's time, a month's time, maybe even a year's time, but a knockout pitch really has something in it that makes you stand out, that makes your pitch memorable. And finally, a knockout pitch ultimately is something that brings clients towards you, whether that is through the way that you suggest an offer that you have, maybe it's through sharing like a freebie that you have on offer. What we really want to do is learn how to use that pitch to attract leads so that when you leave your networking meeting, you've got a list of people to follow up with. You have people that really, they've listened to you and they want to know more, because that is how you start to get the most from every networking meeting. So that's what I mean when I say a knockout pitch, right? You're confident, it's clear, and it helps you to attract clients. So my first tip is how to cut the waffle. So I've just said here, this is about keeping it to the time limit, but it's not just about delivering a pitch that fits to the 60-second limit. When we talk about cutting the waffle, this is about really learning how to say what you do by being concise in your message. It's so common, you know, I've seen this happen a lot, maybe you've seen it too, where people stand up to talk about what they do in their business and then they go off on a tangent, or they want to really talk about lots of things, they get excited and their message gets diluted. And this is what we want to avoid. You really want to cut out the waffle, cut out the stuff that doesn't add value, and just whittle it down to the stuff that is most important. I'm going to share some questions with you in a moment to give you some guidance on how you can apply this to your own pitch. But to bring this to life on what this means, I want to share on why this is so important. I want to share an analogy with you. So imagine you are the director, Richard Curtis, right? You've made loads of big blockbuster films. You've made Notting Hill, Love Actually. Oh my God, what's the other one? Did I just say Notting Hill? Notting Hill, yeah. Love Actually. The Boat That Rocked, loads of big films, right? You're a big shot director. So you're Richard Curtis, you made all these amazing films, and then you make a new film and you want to put out a trailer that is going to encourage people to get to the cinema to watch your film. Now, if you are Richard Curtis, in that trailer, you're going to include some clips from your new film. What you're not going to do is also include a clip of Martine McCutcheon snogging Hugh Grant on the school stage, Bill Nighy dancing on a boat, and Julia Roberts with orange juice spilt all over her, right? You're not going to include different clips of lots of different films in one trailer for your film. And because that would be confusing. People would watch that advert and they wouldn't know what it is you're trying to talk about. And you can apply the exact same principle to your pitch. Rather than trying to tell people about everything that you do, focus on talking about one thing that you do, because that is what is going to make your message really, really clear and simple and easy for people to understand. So the first thing to consider when you really want to keep your pitch nice and concise is to ask yourself, do you talk about your process in your pitch? Again, this is something that as business owners, you know about your process. You know it like the back of your hand. You're really passionate about your process. You know that, the way that you work with your clients, your 6-month program, the different techniques you use, those are what really matter. That is what really gets your clients incredible results. You're passionate about it. You know everything about it. But your process doesn't belong in your pitch, because your process is what can add a lot of content to your pitch and start to make your message confusing. People don't need to hear that you organize 6 one-to-one calls with people and you do a follow-up and they should expect an email from you on this day. They don't need to know that level of detail in your pitch. What they do really need to know is the value of what it is that you offer through your service. And when I say value, what I mean is, what is the outcome that you help someone achieve? What is it ultimately that you help someone to do? So for me, for example, in my business, I help people to feel really confident in delivering a concise pitch. That helps them to promote their business, to grow and use networking more wisely. That is the value that I offer to my clients. And that is what I really want to bring to life in my pitch. So my question for you is, look at the last pitch you delivered. Are you talking about your process, or are you really focusing on the value that you provide? If you're not, take out the parts where you talk about your process and exchange it for really shining a light on what is the outcome you help someone to achieve. And to do that, you can think about, what did you help a recent client with? Because that's the thing that people are listening to really want to understand. That's what they're most interested in. And finally, like I said, with the Richard Curtis analogy, what is the one thing that you can promote in your next pitch? Now, you might be thinking, I've got a program, but what if someone in the room wants a power hour? And what if someone else wants my free consultation call? I know how it feels, and you don't want to miss an opportunity by only focusing on one thing in your pitch. But when you try to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody, because your pitch becomes confusing. It can feel really overwhelming as your audience member to listen to someone who says, I do this, I do this, I do this. Oh, and I do this. It's like information overload, right? So just strip it back, keep it really, really simple. Choose one thing that you want to promote in your next pitch and write a pitch about that. If you decide to write a pitch about your power hour and someone says, oh, I actually really want to work with you for longer, that's okay. You can still do that. But having a simple pitch will make it much easier for you to deliver, and it will be much easier for people to understand, listen to, and then take action, which is what we want. So this is how to cut the waffle in your pitch. Take out the process, focus on the value, and really choose one thing each time to focus on that you can promote. So, next tip, tell them what they want, what they really, really want. This is a nod to the Spice Girls for the inspiration for this. But what I'm saying here is, it's not about you when you pitch. Often when we prepare for our pitches, we think, you might think, I don't know what I want to talk about. I don't know what I want to say this month. I'm not really sure if I have anything to talk about. You can take that pressure off yourself and instead think about your audience. Think about what your audience want to hear from you, what they really, really, really want to hear from you, by putting yourself in their shoes. So what do I mean by this? When you deliver your pitch, how you want someone in your audience to feel is you really want them to be listening to you and think, oh my God, she's talking to me. Oh my God, I literally feel like that all the time. Oh my God, I did that this morning. Oh my God, she sees me. She sees my struggle. I really want to know more, right? You want to deliver a pitch that someone can really relate to, because when they can relate to what you're saying, it means that you've done a really brilliant job of tapping into what they want to hear. And that is what makes a pitch engaging, right? So to do this, think about your dream client that you'd love to work with. This can be someone that you worked with recently to kind of help bring this to life. What language do they use to describe their situation? So for example, what problem did they describe having? Think of the last client you worked with and think about what was it that they were experiencing when they came to you to ask for help. How did they describe their problem? So, for example, they might say, it might be, so let's use Lou's business as an example. Lou sells pre-loved clothing. So you could say in your pitch, I sell pre-loved clothing to people, but how did your dream client come to you? What was the problem that they have? Lou, what kind of things do people say to you when they come to you for help?
They either say things like, I have too many clothes and I don't know what to wear.
Amazing.
So I can probably solve both those problems. Or they are just a little bit confused. They've lost their style way. They don't know what to wear. Or they come with a more sustainable head on, which is wanting to just kind of not buy new.
Amazing. Okay, so even there, that's like 3 different pitch ideas. I love that first one that you said, I've got so many clothes, I don't know what to wear. That could be almost an opening line of your pitch, because straight away, that's so relatable. I've been there. Is anyone else? Give us a nod if you felt that feeling. Yes, Louise, I can see you nodding. Yeah, right. That feeling is really relatable. Oh my God, I'm about to go to a networking meeting. I'm looking at my wardrobe. I've got so many clothes. I don't like any of them. What do I wear? That is the way to really make your pitch resonate. You use the word you use language that your client uses, and you're really clearly outlining a problem that they have told you they have. So that's what you can all try out. Try this out for your next pitch. Really think about that problem and how to bring it to life. And then again, think about how they describe how they feel or the difference you've made to how you've helped them. So again, in Lou's business, you could say, my clients leave with a bag full of clothes that they're excited to wear, right? You could say that. There's nothing, it's correct, but it doesn't build that emotional connection, right? So Lou, again, what kind of things do your clients say to you when they've had a shopping session with you and they're about to walk out the door? What kind of things do they say to you?
Well, they generally just feel very grateful and kind of warm inside. They're kind of just like, they feel like the whole experience has been really uplifting.
And what do they say to you when they've like gone home and they've worn one of your outfits?
Oh, I get messages all the time saying, oh, I'm so pleased I found that jacket. I love it. I'm wearing it all the time.
Right, exactly. See, so in your pitch, these are the beautiful little nuggets that you can pull out. Go from thinking, what the hell do I wear, to knowing that you've got your favorite jacket that always makes you feel like $1 million. Again, it's about finding these real examples, using the language your clients use and playing it back to them in their pitch, because that feeling of relatability, that is really what's going to help hook people in to what you're talking about. So this is this tip. Tell them what they want, what they really, really want. They want to know how you are going to help them solve their problem, and they want to hear you use their language so they can connect to your message. Cool. And then tip number 3 is all about owning the room. So a pitch is not only about what you say, it is also about how you say it. I have seen so many people come to networking meetings where they've really spent time on writing a pitch. They've got something really clear, it's really concise, it's beautifully written, they've used the right language, it's really compelling, there's a clear call to action. But when they come to deliver it, they read their notes off their phone, or you can see that they're nervous, or their voice kind of is a bit shaky, or they rush to get to the end, or they read it with a almost like a monotone in their voice. And it's that part that often people don't necessarily remember to do or put as much emphasis on, but how you deliver your pitch is so, so, so important if you really want to shine in your spotlight, because you can have the best written pitch in the world, but if you don't deliver it with your full, radiant, confident self, people lose interest, or they don't engage, or they might kind of feed off that nervous energy that you give off. So it's just as important to invest time in practicing how you deliver your pitch as well as what you say. And that is if you take away one thing from all of these things I'm sharing with you, I cannot emphasize enough how important putting aside time to prepare your pitches. And that is writing it and practicing it out loud. Because when you do that, when you rehearse it, that is when you start to feel really comfortable. You don't want to be in a situation where you go to your networking meeting and you're saying your pitch out loud for the first time, right? As an actor, when you're preparing for a play, when I'm preparing for my one-woman show, I have said that script out loud 50, 100 times before it gets in front of an audience, because I need to know how those words feel. I need to know how it sounds when it comes out of my mouth. I don't want any surprises. I want to feel really confident. So the more time you put into practicing your pitch and saying out loud, the more confident you're going to feel, the more relaxed you're going to feel. So how do you own the room, particularly when things like nerves and overthinking and things get in the way? What can you do? So you can do this now, actually. Think about how you hold yourself. So just check in with your posture right now. How are you sitting? Is there something you can do to just slightly adjust to feel more confident? Yes, Louise, right, absolutely. Yeah, nice. So shoulders back, lovely. Rolling your shoulders back just to have a nice open posture. Perhaps you can lift your head up, have your chest lifted, even give a lovely smile. Really think these are tiny things that you can do, but do you feel the difference already in how you feel? Just tweaking your posture ever so slightly can really help you to feel more confident. So think about, how do you normally hold yourself when you pitch? If you're feeling really, really brave, you could even film yourself pitching, or you could get someone in your meeting to film yourself pitch. Someone in my group actually asked me to do this for her a couple of months ago. And she's a brilliant speaker, but she noticed that she was speaking too quickly. And so the next month she really practiced with slowing things down. So if you're feeling brave, film yourself, look at how you hold yourself. And ask yourself, what does your posture say about you, right? And this isn't about judgment. It's not about criticizing yourself. It's not about being mean to yourself. It's about really understanding, having full awareness of what it is that you do when you speak. Because how you hold yourself, the way that you communicate about your business, this is going to have such a big impact on the impression that you leave on people about how they think about your business. And sometimes our posture and our body language is what's letting us down, and we don't even realize. So really think about, how do I hold myself when I pitch? What is my posture saying about me? And then identify some things that you can do to change your body language so that you can really show your confidence. Like I said, rolling your shoulders back, your head up high, having a nice wide stance in your posture, are all really small things that make a really immediate difference. The other thing which can make a big difference, if you're in person, I would always say stand up and take a moment to really own the space that you're in. You don't need to stand up and rush and go straight away. Take a moment to stand up, have that nice confident posture, and then begin to speak. I'd also say, if you are in an online networking meeting, try standing. Standing up is one of the easiest things you can do to get natural energy through your voice, because you're able to breathe more easily. You've got the energy from your legs coming up into your body. It's a really simple way to get that energy through your voice and through the screen to people that are listening to you. So experiment with standing desks, cardboard boxes up on a desk, books, whatever you can do just to lift your laptop up and experiment. See how standing makes you feel and if you notice a difference. But really investing time in practicing, delivering that pitch will make such a huge difference, because when you can say it with confidence and with grace, that's really when that clear, concise message comes to life and stays with your audience. So those are my 3 tips on how to deliver a knockout pitch. Cut out the waffle, tell them what they want, what they really, really want, and focus on how to own the room. Amazing. So Lou, now I'm going to hand over to you.
Okay, so I'm just going to take it to another level, which is to consider your part. So how you look, how to look the part, how to style yourself to look the part, to pitch with power. Because it's not just about what you say and how you say it. It is also how you are perceived, and with that is how you look. So if you go to, thank you. So my first tip is about dressing the part to own the room. And you never, ever get a second chance to make a first impression. And your first impression is often made as you walk into a room. It's often before you've even spoken. it can be judged very, very quickly. Obviously, it can be amended, but it can be judged very, very quickly. And what you wear reflects who you are and how you are perceived. So your style and what you look like, it does matter. It does matter to how people will look at you and interpret, maybe second guess what you do, maybe think about later on in the meeting, or she's told me she does this, but she looks like that. Do these two things align? So it really is important that you consider how you look as much as what you say and how you say it. And it's not about standing out. It's not about wearing the biggest, flashiest, brightest, colourful thing in the room. It's about showing up and being you, but showing up with intention and being seen and being remembered for your values, whether that's for your own personal values, your brand values, or your business values. So my top tip is, if you don't already do it, when you're preparing your pitch and you're going to your next networking meeting, is really do consider what you are going to wear and what your style or your outfit says about you and what you do. And I'll talk a little bit more about that because it's a theme that carries on through. So I just wanted you to think about at the minute, and maybe you could just pop a word in the chat, is how do you want to, as a business owner, how do you want to be seen, perceived by others? If you could think of one thing and pop it in the chat, that would be great. How do you want to be perceived? Okay, yeah, professional. I don't know all of you. I don't know what you do, but yes, professional is obviously important. Approachable, yes. I think approachability is really important. And it obviously depends on your what role you're playing as to how you dress. And I think these days now of being suited and booted in the corporate world, they really don't apply in corporate world, let alone in small businesses these days. Confident and casual. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, these are all really good words, and they're also important things to think about. And I don't know if you've ever thought, well, I want to be perceived as being professional. What am I going to wear? I want to be seen as being approachable. What am I going to wear? Don't know if that's ever entered your head. So it's something that we need to just add into, not to complicate it, but just add it into the mix when you are preparing for your next networking meeting and your next networking pitch. Okay, so my next tip is your outfit will bring confidence and comfort. And when you feel comfy, you can be confident. And when you are confident, you can feel comfortable. The two are interlinked. And your outfit can be really quite empowering. It can make you feel quite strong and capable and comfortable being in the spotlight. When your outfit is right, it's empowering. When it's off for any reason, it can throw you off too. So if you don't feel quite right in what you're wearing, that will come across when you're delivering your pitch. If your clothes are a little bit too tight and you can't move, you'll feel restricted delivering your pitch. If you've got something scratchy in the back, you'll just be distracted. So again, it's straightforward. It's not rocket science. It's just about feeling comfortable in what you are wearing. That's actually from a physical comfort point of view, but from an internal emotional comfortable point of view, because it will really help you deliver in a confident fashion. And it's important to get that balance right between comfort and creating the right impression. I mean, you know, we're all in networking groups. We are all familiar with our colleagues in our particular groups. And it's great to feel comfy around them. And, you know, you'll feel at ease working with them because you know them, you've worked with them or met with them on a regular basis. But don't forget, at the same time, you are there to represent your brand and your business. So are your relaxed jeans and baggy jumper the image you want to portray? Does your look represent you and your brand and your professionalism, or do you just need to tweak it a little bit? Do you need to change it a little bit? And don't forget that when we are in women meetings, we also have visitors coming along. I went to a meeting, it wasn't a women meeting, I might add. I went to a meeting as a visitor, and a lady walked in the room. She had a pair of kind of washed out grey jeans on and a black jumper, and we all sat down. Everyone else was relatively smartly dressed, but all relatively quite turned out. And you get your list of names and list of what they all do. And I kind of sat there and thought, I wonder what she does. I was curious. Anyway, it was only when she started to deliver her pitch that she revealed she was a solicitor. And my immediate first impression was that was the last job on her list. And I'd already made a judgment as she walked in the room. I didn't know her, she didn't know me. The rest of the room knew her, but I was a visitor. So it really is important to think about your audience and the impression you want to leave. And I've added in here a picture of Ula Carota, who is the Queen of Rest. She's an energy intelligence coach. She's actually in my Women group. But I can tell that she consciously thinks about what she's going to wear. She always turns out in normally something green, which is a slight nod to her brand. And I'm not saying everybody has to do that. That's not, you don't have to start wearing branded clothing or branded colours. But that's what she does. And it happens to be a colour that suits her, and the colour green is associated with rest. So it all works really nicely. And she always looks quite approachable. She doesn't look too smart. It's that smart casual mix. So she's obviously given it some consideration as part of her overall presentation and her overall pitch. So just think about what you wear, because it has an impact on your confidence and your comfiness. You're comfortable.
Karen's just popped in the chat that she remembers wearing a blouse that kept having a gap at the front, which is embarrassing and uncomfortable.
Yeah, very true. I mean, those are the sorts of things that will just throw you off, because you'll be sitting there like that, kind of trying to cover up all the time. I bet you never wore it again. Okay, so my final tip is to prep your outfit like you prep your pitch. So take all those tips that Grace has given you, what you say and how you say it. They are the most important things, but also it is important, as I've just demonstrated, that you think about what you wear. So dress with purpose, not panic. We don't want any last minute panics. And I would just ask yourself these 3 questions when you are preparing yourself to go to your pitch, or to go to your networking meeting, hopefully the day before, or maybe a few days before you've done this, is what energy do you want to bring? What impression do you want to create? And what are your overall goals? What do you want to achieve? So those 3 things will help you shape your outfit and what you want to wear. And on my next slide, I've got a little checklist for you, which is try things on in advance. So first and foremost, review what you already have. I'm not here to sell you clothes. Most of you will have wardrobes of clothes that you can wear. It's about thinking about what you already own, what you have got, and therefore what you can put together as an outfit that would meet your queries, your questions, and your that you've just set yourself with in terms of what your goals are and what impression you want to create and what energy you want to bring. Try it on in advance. I'm sure many of you get up that morning and think, I've got my meeting. It's a bit wet outside. I don't know. What am I going to wear? What shall I throw on? What shall I wear today? I may be doing you a disservice. You may have planned it well in advance. But if you try it on in advance, then it will take away all those last minute panics of, I was going to wear this, but the button's hanging off. I was going to wear this. I've just noticed there's a stain on the sleeve. Or I've put it on and actually I don't feel great in it and I'm going to have to start all over again. You don't want to be charging out the room in the morning, racing to your networking meeting because your outfit wasn't quite right when you tried it on. So just do a little bit of preparation in advance, pick some ideas and try on some options and work out what you want to wear. Check it for fit, comfort and confidence. Again, it's all about making sure that you feel at ease in what you have got on, and don't forget your underwear. And I don't mean don't forget to put it on. I mean, don't forget to think about your underwear, because we shouldn't see it, although we sometimes do, but actually your underwear in everyday life is the foundation of your outfit. So if your bra and knickers are not working quite as they should be, your clothes won't hang properly. So your underwear literally they are like the foundations of your house. They are the foundations of your outfit. So those are my top 3 tips. So think about your outfit in advance. Think about it as part of your overall pitch and make sure you feel confident and comfortable in it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lou. I've been trying to take on your tips more. I thought about wearing this dress last night and I checked that it didn't have toothpaste on it. Which is
very good, Grace.
Yes, thank you. So now, yeah, absolutely. Sarah Jane, shoes are important too, not too high if you're
Absolutely.
standing.
Yeah.
So true. Lou, do you have any tips on shoes?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the shoe is, I mean, you'll often just see me in trainers, to be honest, because I find them comfortable and I feel quite flat-footed when I'm stood. I can feel, at ease. Um, if you want to show a slight elevation, then a heel does throw you forward very slightly. But I absolutely agree that anything too high, if you're standing for any time, if you're not used to wearing heels, you're told. I think it's a little bit more about what you're used to wearing as well. Some people are very comfortable in heels, not me.
Yeah, there was a woman, I visited a networking group about a year ago, and there was a woman there in stilettos, and she was absolutely nailing it. She just looked, I mean, she looked like she was walking barefoot. She was so comfortable, and it was really like, wow. But I'm the same as you, Lou. I'm trainers through and through. So it's about what makes you feel good.
Yeah,
right?
I'm Nicola all over. If I'm out for the day, I'm starting on my feet and working up.
Exactly. Amazing. So now you've heard the tips from me on how to prepare and deliver a knockout pitch. You've heard Lou's tips about how to style yourself to really look at your best in the spotlight. So now think about what we've shared, how you want to feel in the spotlight, which you shared at the beginning. What is it that you need to get comfy in the spotlight? So what one thing, based on what we've just talked about, maybe you've had a reflection, an epiphany, what one thing do you need now to feel really comfy in the spotlight? Share in the chat. And it might be to do with something we've talked about. It could be something, maybe something we've said has sparked an idea. Prepare and practice. Lovely, Karen. I think just do one thing each time. Yeah, Louise, honestly, it's such a game changer. Just keep it focused and simple. I'd like to not use my phone as a prop. Yeah, absolutely. Sarah Jane, that is something I always work with people on, is how to build your confidence to speak without notes. Rehearse, Carmen, absolutely. Nicola, don't try to say everything all at once. Choose what to focus on according to the audience. Yeah, absolutely. Your audience has to come first. When it comes to creating a pitch that you really want to connect with people, put the audience first and then work out what you want to say. Amazing. So it's been great to share these tips with you. And as Lou mentioned at the beginning, we both want to share how else we can help you beyond today's masterclass, because this is really just scratching the surface of what both me and Lou do. So I have just launched my brand new offer, which is a magnetic pitch makeover. But I will help you to deliver a 60-second pitch your dream clients cannot resist. So this is really where I work one-to-one with you to put what I've talked about a little bit this morning into action. So what the magnetic pitch makeover looks like is we have 3 focused one-to-one sessions. In session number 1, we look at your current pitch. We do a deep dive review. We look at what's working really well and actually what could be changed to make it even better. So we do a bit of an audit on what you're saying so far, because there'll be bits in there that are brilliant and then there'll be bits that we can work on. Once we've done a review on where you're at the moment, in session number 2, we get our pens and papers out and we write a clear, concise pitch that speaks to your ideal client. So this is where I work with you to do some of these things we talked about today. Really get that language clear, identify the problem, identify the outcome, make it pithy, make it entertaining in a concise 60-second format. And then in session number 3, I work with you to really help you deliver your pitch with confidence, authority, and ease. We look at different techniques you can use to help you memorize your pitch, your body language, you get to practice what you're saying, and it's really your opportunity to feel and work on how you own the room, so that when you're going to your next networking meeting, you've got everything covered. You know exactly what to say, and you really know how to say it to get people's attention. So you get 3 one-to-one sessions with me where we work through that process. And you also get, as a bonus, my Sell to the Room pitch framework. This is a framework I have used on repeat in my business, it's the framework I teach my clients to really help get leads through networking. I went networking on Wednesday and I used this framework and I got 2 new clients in the meeting, which meant I delivered one pitch and I brought £1,000 into my business within 2 hours. This framework really, really works. So you get that framework, you get a template so you can apply exactly the same principles I teach my clients so that you can do the same for your business. I'll pop a link in the chat to my calendar in a second. If anyone is, if you would like to know more about the Magnetic Pitch Makeover, you've got any questions, you want to see if this is the right thing for you, I'd love to have a chat about it. I'll pop a link in the chat in a moment. You can book a one-to-one and find out more.
Okay, and that's a great offer, Grace. I have done some of Grace's pitch work, so I can highly recommend it. I can also endorse the fact that I also did a pitch that following Grace's hot tips, and it led to new clients. So definitely worth thinking about that if you want to explore that further. From my perspective, I am offering for women members, for women in business members who want to feel confident, comfortable and credible, a Discover Confidence Through Style 1-hour complimentary styling session at the Pre-Loved Boutique in Harpenden. We will explore your style. So whether that is to think about your goals for from a business point of view and how you want to feel, the impression you want to portray and what you want to achieve. And we will look at the pre-loved pieces. So this is not about buying new. This is about styling with pre-loved. And the joy of shopping pre-loved is you do find and uncover lots of superb hidden gems, and in their own right, they are one-offs. They are all unique. So you can almost quite naturally stand out in a room when you're wearing something that is pre-loved, and obviously it's original, sustainable, and also can be part of your overall story. So that's the offer I'm putting forward. This is just just wanted to share with you a quote from, she isn't a business client, she is a client. This is on my Google reviews, but just wanted to share with you what she said and what a lot of my clients say. And I do pride myself on this a little bit. I am honest with people. So if you put something on in my shop that I don't think looks right on you, I will tell you. And that's because I've had years of experience of going into places and everything I put on, apparently I look amazing in, and I don't. So I genuinely think it's important that women walk out feeling good, but I think they feel and look good too, which is really important. So honesty for me is an important factor when it comes to helping you with your style. I do have tact as well, so I'm not really rude about it, but and this is how you can book with me. The best thing to do if you are interested in booking a session and coming over to see me in Harpenden, then the best thing to do is contact me on email there. So that's louise@loumurphystyles.co.uk. And you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Lou Murphy Styles, or contact me through DMs there if you prefer.
Amazing. And Lou always looks fantastic. Every time I see you, I feel like you practice what you preach. And I've met some of your clients as well. And Lou, it does a brilliant job at finding people's style that really suits them and their personality, which is what it's all about. And I think, yeah, the honesty and her taste goes far. So I definitely recommend popping over to see her.
Just before you move on, Nicola's just asked me a question. Not a problem, Nicola. If you've joined this call, or you're watching it on repeat, then yeah, that's fine. Absolutely no problem at all. You're very welcome.
Lovely stuff. Okay, so to summarize the key things we've talked about today. So I've talked all about how to deliver a knockout pitch. First of all, cut the waffle, keep it concise by really emphasizing the value of what it is that you deliver and keeping it focused to one thing at a time. Tell them what they want, what they really, really want, which is they want to know how you can help solve their problem, use the language your ideal clients to really deliver a pitch that resonates. And finally, own the room. Use your posture, your body language, your voice to really bring that pitch to life, to get people's attention and encourage them to take action to work with you.
And How to look the part and pitch with power. My 3 top tips were remember that first impressions count and you never get a second chance to create a first impression. Remember your outfit and the style can contribute directly to confidence and comfort and vice versa. And finally, consider your outfit as part of your pitch and prepare in advance.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lou. So we've got about 5 minutes left. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. We've got time for questions. So if anyone would like to ask something, you can feel free to come off mute or pop something in the chat. Could be something about your pitch or your style, something we've spoken about, but let us know. And I'm going to pop my links in the chat while you do that.
Yeah, Yvonne's got her hand up.
Yeah, I have 2 questions actually. Sorry, I'm feeling a bit jet lagged. I just got off a plane last night, a long haul. It was Lou actually, because when she said about the solicitor, I am a solicitor, and I wanted to know what you thought. What did she look like, and why did you think she wasn't a solicitor?
She had a pair of kind of washed out jeans on and a black baggy jumper. She looked to me like she was going for a stroll in the park.